It's time to do some cool stuff with the popseidon, and as you can see from the title and thumbnail, it's a little bit bugged, and I'm going to be doing this run with Silas 2 here on Ravine. So that bug, yes, it will very briefly slow down the bad, and it's kind of strange, but it is what it does, and I can actually take advantage of this and use this to make my round 100 on Ravine here a lot easier. And Ravine is known for having a very brutal round 100, so I decided to do this because I did this challenge very recently actually and got 44,000 cash bear. This was last update when Silas was stronger, by the way, too, mind you. So I was seeing, well, I bet this could be improved very much, because along with some funky buffs that the popseidon got, I should be able to get a lot more, because I had to spend so much just to take out that round 100 specifically. So I'm going to be looking to cut just a few small things, and also cut the entire bounty hunter, which was used to increase its range and do a lot of damage to round 100, which would make the popseidon do a lot more too, of course. So with that being cut, I'm gonna have to deal a lot more damage to 100 with just the popseidon alone, but this bug should really help out. So you'll see that coming up, and how I do all the other rounds without the bounty hunter too, and with the nerfed Silas. So I'm just going to be doing this early game. I'm going to be doing something pretty cheap. I have a Spolt and a triple dart, all with camo there. That's just going to be cruising through the early game, and then with Silas, everything else will be able to push through too. So the Riptide Champion is actually pretty darn strong. It's just really slow shooting at times. So if it's not a single lane map, it kind of has a lot of difficulties, or at least even like 2-lane maps. So it will be very annoying on other maps that I tried. I tried doing a run on #ouch, and it was not that good, I have to say. So I'm gonna try it on something more like Muddy, which I think will be a lot stronger, using a different combination with Etienne to get a gigantic range popseidon. You basically can get like a full map range popseidon, which is really funky on Muddy Puddles with Etienne. So that's going to be coming up, but it's really strong now, and the reason for that is that it got some funky buffs. But now the Arctic Knight will bounce off of the edge of maps, which is something that it did not used to do before. Before, it would hit the edge of the map and it would just disappear, go off. Now it will bounce back, which was something that the popseidon used to do, but now the tier 4 does it, which makes the tier 4 very, very powerful on like every single map now. It's a little bit better on maps like Cornfield and Dark Dungeons, so that's why I'm thinking maybe I could even improve the Dark Dungeons LCC, because it won't run out of the exits. A lot of times the projectiles would be lost because they, after bouncing around so much, if they didn't use all their pierce, they'd run out the exits, but now they won't even do that. And on maps that doesn't involve that, they'll just bounce around until whenever they disappear usually. For that reason, Oben is also really good with the popseidon because it increases the duration of the projectile lifespan, which is a pretty big deal because they're just going to bounce around until they use their pierce. And Oben also buffs the pierce, so that's also another great thing. That's something else that I want to look into too. But for the moment, this is just going very crazy. It's very, very powerful tier 4. And I actually got one extra tier 3 ice, because last run I did have to get 3 icicles to beat the mid game and save up to the popseidon. So, and because Silas is nerfed, a lot of the synergies are not as effective. They're still very, very strong, but not quite as effective. I thought, okay, certainly I will need 3 icicles. Turns out that's not true at all. I only needed 2. So that third, it was just a crowd there. I bought it early so I could get the XP, but that's kind of redundant in the first place. And that was only assuming that I was going to get the third one, so I might as well get the XP early. So that could just be completely cut. So unfortunately, like $2,000 or whatever was wasted right there. So you could kind of add that to the total on the end if you want to, I guess. But everything else is just carried by the Arctic Knight, absolutely destroying everything on the screen when it's up. And when the ability is down, if I've needed it in a pinch, I've had the other Silas abilities, which was a pretty crazy combo. So very, very incredibly strong. We'll just breeze through the mid game, and it's very easy to get a popseidon before round 80 with a whole bunch of strategies. Here, because I was going to greed out primary mentoring first, and I actually made that a $2,000 waste of money. It will be a little bit later, but it is still very possible to get an extremely early popseidon. And then once you get that, it will destroy pretty well. In theory, now with this bug on round 100, I should just need an overclock and an alt buff to be able to destroy everything. So I'm just going to get that now, and then we can use that to practically beat everything up. And you'll see on round 95, the popseidon main attack itself will do a lot of damage, and we'll be able to take out these DDTs very, very well. Now this is because the map only has 2 lanes. The projectile moves incredibly slow and will often miss like a single ceramic. So if there is more than 2 lanes, ideally 1 lane it will like kind of struggle in many ways. So again, on that ouch run, I said it was really because it was Etienne too. Etienne honestly doesn't do much on ouch, I'm gonna be honest. The popseidon was really struggling just to clean everything up, and it ended up turning into a disaster. I mean, I still got like 40,000 cash spare, but that is basically nothing in this day and age. So it was basically scrapped. One of the rare times that a whole video idea gets scrapped, but that's fine because I've got more ideas and ways to improve in the future, so that's pretty cool. And as you can see, stalling is a big thing. With Etienne, you couldn't stall, so that's another reason why it kind of sucked. So I was able to stall all my abilities back up for round 99, and I can bash the DDTs open with the freeze and then keep the ability up. So I can stall for just a little bit, not a whole lot. Moab Shove did get nerfed, which is kind of annoying, but it's enough to get my abilities back. And then on round 100 I can pop the ability, and as you can see, the bad gets frozen. The bad gets frozen and slowed down briefly. It's kind of hard to see, but if you go into something like Sandbox, you'll see it a little bit better. And I end up finishing off with 61,500 spare. With some unoptimal things. This definitely could be improved a little bit, as I said, maybe even with the early game, but that would be kind of painful. So very, very cool run, and popseidon's pretty powerful. Just got to be on the right map and with the right hero.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!